All right, well, hi everybody. I'm gonna talk about the Rode Wireless Go microphone wireless slab setup. I don't have any flashy intro, I don't have any flashy set. I have some lights and a camera, so I'm gonna give you this review straight up, give you the good and the bad. This opening experience is awful. It's absolute garbage. Rode, you gotta do better than this. First of all, the box is impossible to get into. There's no way. It's got one of those little round stickers on the bottom here to keep you from getting into the bottom, and taking that off, what that does is kind of ruins your UPC and it sort of ruins your serial number on here. So good job, Rode, for that. Then getting into the top of it, they've used some sort of space grade glue to try and open this thing, and there's no way to do it without ruining the packaging. So you eventually will get into it, and then you have to rip off a thing like it's a piece of food or something like that. And once you get into it, then you can pull out all that stuff. Here are the actual things inside, and you can't get them out because they're, I'll show you in a second. You can't get them out because you have to pull this thing out. And then as you can see, they're kind of stuck on there like that. So we pull those out. And meanwhile, you're basically destroying the packaging as you're taking this apart, which is just, in 2019, that is a premium product. That's unacceptable. They do give you two USB-C to USB-A chargers, because that's how these charge. You get two wind muffs, which is kind of nice. Although I have heard that these are difficult to stick on there and they don't stay on there, but I have done it where they were sticking on pretty well. And then you get your 3.5 to 3.5 millimeter for your camera or whatever you're going to be using it. And then they give you a cool little pouch that everything kind of fits into very nicely, like that, and you're ready to go. So as far as unboxing goes, for what is kind of billed as a premium product, this sucks, because you're left with pieces that are kind of just like, you're just gonna throw those away. Okay, so there was another thing that I wanted to talk about with these units. Now, these are great. You can see how tiny they are. They work great. You basically just plug them in and they work. There's a single button on them, and you hold down the button, and eventually the blue lights on the transmitter will light up, and then the little OLED screen on the receiver will light up. It immediately pairs, and then it gives you the battery readout on both the transmitter and the receiver. It also gives you a real-time leveling on your sound, which everything is great. On the receiver, there is an extra couple of buttons. One will step through the sensitivity of the microphone, either low, medium, and high. I have no idea what the steps are, but it seems to work okay. And then in case it doesn't pair, there is a pairing button on there as well. So I haven't had to use it. Basically just turn them on and they work. That's kind of how it goes. Another cool thing that I'm sure you already know about are the little clips. So you're just gonna kind of clip this. You would clip that to yourself as you're speaking, and it would just, this goes to your camera, and it just works. The other cool thing is that this clip also slides right into your hot shoe mount or a cold shoe mount on a cage or whatever. So you don't have to figure out any kind of extra mounting BS. So super convenient. They just work, and I don't have very many complaints about it until I tried using them. Now, this is less a complaint about these units and more of a complaint about the lav microphone that I really love using. For years, I have been using this. This is the JK Mic J 044. And as you can see, it's very tiny. I use this for video production, like film production and such. So these are super small. They're really easy to hide on talent, and they just use a single mono 3.5 millimeter jack to plug into. So I thought that I would just be able to plug this right in. Well, it has to be the receiver, not the receiver, the transmitter. I thought I would plug this right in, start using it, and everything would be great. Unfortunately, this particular microphone, the one that I love using so much, has some sort of very bizarre feedback, and I'm gonna demonstrate that right now. So I've plugged the JK Mic J 044 into the transmitter unit here, and I'm gonna just kind of move this around, and you're definitely going to hear the very weird interference noise. It's a high-pitched whine, and if I get it close to this, it really gets bad. I have no idea. I have no idea why it's just this mic and the other cheapy one. I'm so disappointed though, because these are my favorite mics. I think they sound great. You stick them on Talent right here. I've been using them for my Models and Movies channel forever, and they just work flawlessly, but not with this system, as you can hear. Yeah, so you heard that? That was kind of annoying and impossible to use on video production. It just, there's no way. I guess a very skilled audio engineer would be able to filter that out, but it's just, that's way too much work. And unfortunately, this microphone, which I love using, it reproduces sound really, really well, and it's worked on every other piece of equipment that I have. That doesn't work. So then I started looking around for other microphones that I had to see if this unit was bad. So I was like, okay, well, I also have this really crappy microphone that came with this thing right here. It's a Pyle. It's made to convert a 3.5-inch plug-in power mic to a to my sound box, which is it just, anyway, it supplies the plug-in power. And then I have another thing that is a small thing that just converts XLR to plug-in power. Anyway, this is a complete garbage mic. There's no reason why I would ever use it. Anyway, this also made the terrible feedback sound. So then I went to this. This is a, what is this? This is a Pyle Pro ear microphone. And basically you just stick it on your ear like this. And it's for you know, demonstrations, and I don't know, church people might use this, singers sometimes use a mic like this, not this one, because this is super cheap. It's only 16 bucks. Anyway, this also has a mono plug, and I just wanted to see if it's gonna work, and indeed it does. It works perfectly. No feedback, no problems. It works flawless. It actually sounds really, really good. So then I got all frustrated because it's like, oh man, these great microphones, which are $29, I know they're not, you know, professional level, but other than the price tag, they got the sound that I needed, and they were super easy to work with and hidden well, but they just wouldn't work. So JK has a bunch of other numbered mics, this one being the 017, and it sells for a couple dollars less at 26 bucks. Anyway, this came to me, and it came this big, and while you can take that off, that's a lot harder to hide on Talent. Nonetheless, I plugged it in and everything's fine. That works. It gives me no feedback. Unfortunately, it's about 3 pounds and it flops around, and just handling it, I was getting some weird noises, so that wasn't gonna work. Before I bought the Rode Lav Pro or Lav Plus or what it is at like $70, I said, okay, I'm just gonna give one more try to a couple other mics, and I bought, this is one that came highly recommended. It had really good reviews on Amazon. It is the Power DeWise, and without this little fur on it, and without this thing right here. Watch me break it right on camera. Okay. So this is better. This is kind of a between the 044 from JK and the 017 from JK. This is something I could probably work with, and really it's hard to find lav mics anymore that aren't the TRRS 4-pin but it does come with an adapter, so you got to use that and then plug this into this, and then you're ready to go. This worked fine, did not have any problems with feedback on that one. And at the same time, I also bought something from a company called Offgeld. This is also this is actually the microphone you're listening to right now, and in fact, what you have been listening to is my other Rode Wireless Go. So currently the receiver is on top of my GH5, and I'm speaking into the microphone into the transmitter of another Rode. As you can probably tell, my voice sounds okay. It's not going to sound amazing because, you know, it's a, what is this? This is a $12 microphone. So Offgeld is a $12 lav mic. It comes with the TRS to TRS converter. It comes with an extension cord. It comes with a couple of wind muffs. It comes with this fantastic pouch to carry it in. Anyway, so it works, and that's all I really care about. So that is just a really quick review of this. Now, I haven't done too many like distance tests with this. I did test it out at a house where I walked outside of the house, and I was getting a little bit of breakup. But inside of a house with just regular wooden walls, it works pretty well. I have very, very little dropout. I did not go I believe it's rated for 70 meters or something like that. I didn't read anything about this, but by this time you probably already know what the range is as they print it in their materials, but it's far enough. You generally don't need to get that far away. So who is this for? This is really, really good for bloggers. Vloggers. And the reason why is you won't have a wire. If you're going to be using a lav mic, you won't have a wire running to the camera that you're holding and look like a doofus. The other thing is you don't need to use, whoops, let me just do this. I'm going to unplug the microphone and stick it on my shirt like I had the other one. You don't need a lav microphone at all to use it because there's one built right into the transmitter. And it's not a terrible microphone. It actually sounds pretty good. I'll plug this back in so that you can hear any difference. So, oops. Yeah, the only thing that you would need to be concerned with is if you're going to be using a lav mic, especially with an inline converter, now you have this long thing sticking out of it, so you kind of have to be mindful of that. I'll do the rest of the video without the lav mic, just so that you can get a good idea of what the actual microphone sounds like. So this is really super easy. My other complaint is that it would be super cool if you could use 2 transmitters to 1 receiver, but I don't know of a way to sync them up to more than 1 transmitter. That could be a future firmware update. That would be really cool if Rode could do that. If they can't, I kind of understand, because they probably don't want interference, and these things are so small. I mean, they're ridiculously small, but they just work, and that's all I'm really asking out of something this small and $200. I guess that's another benefit, is the price. $200, man. I have gone through another wireless set that was absolute garbage. I think it worked on CB radio or something like that, because I would walk 5 feet away from the thing and I would still get some staticky and stuff like that. I think it was like an analog signal. It was just bad and generally unusable. I've even used Sennheiser mic packs, and even the Sennheiser mic packs had trouble sometimes. I would have a little bit of dropout. I would get a little bit of distortion depending on what was going on and how far away these things were from each other. And those are $650 per pack. So I gotta say, for $200, this is pretty great. These also need line of sight. So when you have line of sight with the transmitter and the receiver, you get much more range than if, say, I would turn around from the camera. Obviously, the camera wouldn't be able to see me. Now, I can do that now because I'm so close to the receiver. But if I were, say, 60 feet away and tried turning around, then I would probably have some problems. So that is basically it. I'm not gonna do range tests. I'm not gonna walk through the house because there's lots of other videos out there that, that do that sort of thing. And I'm just not really, I'm lazy, don't feel like it. But I will tell you that it works. It works well. They're impossibly small, way smaller than any other wireless transmitting audio system. The batteries inside last, I think they're rated for 3.5 hours, but after 2 hours of using this, I still had like half battery left. So I'd be willing to bet that they can go 4, maybe even 5 hours. If I'm wrong about the 3.5 hours, and I probably am, it's already been on the screen that I'm wrong, and it tells you what the rated hours are. And it seems like it charges up pretty quickly too. So this is not unheard of to use on a set and then plug them in at lunch and then keep on using them. Anyway, this has kind of been my very bad review of the Rode Wireless Go system. I highly recommend it because it just works. And there is nothing simpler than just turning it on and sticking it on somebody, and then you're ready to go. And again, for vloggers, this would be perfect because you're gonna have much better audio than if you were talking into your camera's microphones, which are never nearly as good as if you went with something dedicated like this. If you have any questions about the Rode Wireless Go, give me a question in the comment section and I'd be happy to get back to you. Until I do something else, thanks for watching and bye.